Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Halloween is not for a few more months, but Not Scary Farm is already making preparations for their annual Halloween experience. I'm here to get you all the scoop about the new shows and new mazes and a new interactive experience that's never been done in the US. Let's go have some fun.
That's it, that's all that's in there.
Ticket, money.
Oh wait, I know what this is. I run the Scary Farm Facebook page. I, more importantly, have had 20-something haunts to meet and greet fans from all over the world. And there's one thing they have asked me every time I meet them, year after year after year, and it's right here in my hand. This is a Not Scary Farm Season Pass! This is my everlasting gobstopper right here. Get a good look. You know what it does? Let's go over it, shall we? There's only a limited number of them. And they're only available to season pass holders. Put it on the screen, shall we, so everybody can see it. Oh, yeah! With this little pass, you can come to haunt as many times as I do. Every single night with no blackout dates. Want to know how much it costs? Guess what? It's available online tonight. So you've got to get this while the getting is good. Because it's $65. Did it sink in? Are we tweeting as fast as we can?
Citizens, please remain calm. The following is not a test.
This is not part of the show.
The CDC is placing a government-mandated quarantine on this area. Remain in your seats. You are now under the control of special
Everyone, please remain calm. I don't know what this is. We'll have to get this sorted out.
Listen up! If you want to live, you'll do exactly as I say.
Who are you? You're in the middle of something, sir.
The only thing you're in the middle of is shutting your gooey little mouth and listening to everything I say. Right now, I'm the only thing between you and oblivion. For some of you, it's already too late. The infection is spreading, and now it has to be stopped. Otherwise, the world will last about as fast as an ice cube in hell. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for action is now. The time to enlist and protect your planet has come. The world outside these walls has changed, and the infected have taken over. So now, it's up to all of you to get up off your butts and do your part. How many of you here have what it takes to help save the world? Who's got the guts to draw the line? Get this man a uniform. Who else? Come up here, son. Hold on. Sorry, son, it's too late for you. Get the hell out of here. Humanity is at stake, ladies and gentlemen. In less than an hour, that boy's brain will come from the inside out. It'll be nothing but goo. And so now it's up to us to save the world. He'll be all right now.
Oh, Johnny.
That's what I like to hear, patriotism. Let me hear it again. Stop listening to this tubby little fool. And do your part. Enlist, fight, and win. Let's move it out.
I don't know what just happened. Sarah? Not scared for him, how we feeling? My name's John Cook. I've been here for about 10 years, started as a monster. And I can't say how honored and privileged I am to be on this stage with these people and all of you tonight. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So you're probably wondering what infected all entails, huh? By show of hands, how many people have played a zombie video game or seen a zombie movie? Okay, well what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you and your friends, put you in a squad, and stick you right in the middle of the craziest zombie apocalypse you've ever seen. On top of that, you're gonna be given a weapon. Oh my God! So you get to tally up as many zombie kills as you can get. And complete as many missions as possible. You guys want to know the best part? It's free with your admission. With that being said, come hot, when you come in the gates, you can find 2 outposts. One located right at the entrance of Camp Snoopy, another outpost on the backside of Camp Snoopy, 2 completely set of missions. So get in, enlist, and don't forget, headshots only. All right, so you heard the man. Everybody in this room is now infected. And you've actually already been tagged. So very important, when you go to leave and run to your computer or your smartphone to go on knots.com and get that $65 season pass.
What is your job around here?
Well, my name is Jeff Shattuck, and I'm the manager of Park Decor, Visual Display, and I'm also the manager of the entertainment design team.
What did you do tonight for this party that we're having?
Well, the party theme tonight, we went with a black and silver theme. So everything you see here at this event was actually designed by myself and my team and installed. So just to give you guys a nice, fun, elegant, creepy atmosphere to have some fun in tonight.
Do you guys have a lot of parties for Knott's Berry Farm?
For Scary Farm, we have quite a few. We have an opening night VIP event and different things. This year we're going to be going another direction with that because it's not sure I should be really revealing this yet, but it's going to be held in a different area of the park than it has been in the past. So all of our VIP guests and things like that and media will get a new experience with our opening night VIP party.
What is your job throughout the year? Like, what are some activities you're involved with? What do you need to do to bring this all together?
Well, we have meetings all year long about Haunt. You know, Haunt has now become a year-round event for us here at Knott's Scary Farm. And so it's just planning, constant planning, working with my designers and talking about what they're going to do for a maze and then how I can incorporate the area or the surrounding area just outside the maze to the theme of the maze that they're doing. Because we just want it to be a fully immersive, experience when you're here at the park for Scary Farm.
Why do you think people should come to Knott's Scary Farm and not go to the Universal and the Six Flags? Because that's a lot of competition.
Knott's Scary Farm is the oldest and the greatest. We've been doing it longer than everyone else. We're the originators of this event. And of course, we've got Elvira. No one else has her.
Do you think it's more of a family event, or do you guys have some like mazes and shows that like older people can enjoy too and they can actually get scared?
Well, I think Scary Farm is geared to, I would say, a PG-13 crowd. It's definitely that. For kids, we have Camp Spooky on the weekends and things. So that's definitely an event that younger kids can come to. So that's more of a whole family experience. But Scary Farm is definitely a PG-13 event with the content and everything that goes on here.
And lastly, what do you think makes this year different from other years you guys have done it?
We're branching out, trying some new things with the infected zone. That's a whole new experience. No one else has done it. We started Trapped 3 years. This will be our third year for Trapped. That's a whole new experience. No one else does that either. And then also with Voodoo, that's going to be a whole new experience in a maze. It's never quite been done that way. So you choose your own path and it's your own adventure. And so that should be another new experience. So we're doing a lot of firsts.
We have new mazes, like just every year we have new mazes. So this year we have a brand new maze based on the Tooth Fairy legend, where if you stay up and try to see her, she takes you back to her lair. We also have a maze called Voodoo, which is a journey into the bayou, which is a brand new aspect where you get to choose your own adventure. So you're actually going to have spots in the maze where you get to pick which path you take, which is we've never done before. Trapped is all new. We're working on our third year of Trapped. We have Special Ops Infected, where you're going to enlist, join a team to fight zombies and save the world. And Elvira and The Hanging. It's the greatest year ever.
What do you think makes you different? Like, how should people come here and not go over there?
The main difference is that the properties that we have in our mazes are all homegrown. There are no movie properties this year. It's all stuff that we've come up with, so the audience will not know what to expect. There won't be any moment where it's like, oh, I'm in a movie scene I recognize. Nothing like that. It's all new. It's all unexpected. And we also have brand new this year, a season pass, where you can, if you're a pass holder, you can buy this for $65 and come every night of Haunt, over and over again. Like I say, you can come as many times as I do, which is every night and beyond.
What about your shows? Do you guys have any new shows for this year?
The Elvira show is brand new in the Ghoul Time Theater, and of course The Hanging is the biggest show of the year, with every pop culture icon skewered and killed right in front of your very eyes.
I heard there is a new interactive experience that nobody else has done. What is that?
That would be Special Ops Infected.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you join a brigade and fight zombies. And it's it's crazy. You're going to be in the thick of it. It's all immersive. It's not like you're in a maze where you see walls. You're out in the open. The zombies are trying to get you, and you have to complete your mission.
How long does the haunt go on for?
It goes on the last couple weeks of September all the way through Halloween.
Okay. And how many of these mazes and shows are actually great for children?
Children?
Yeah.
None. We suggest 13 and up, and not a lot of people take that to heed. They will bring their kids, but we're very honest. It's suggested for ages 13 and up. You're free to bring whatever you want. I've seen strollers, I've seen those Bjorns with babies in the front. Hey, if you want to give your kid a lifetime of therapy, bring them to Not Scary Farm, but it's really an event for teens and adults.
How many people do you guys hire to actually just stand around and scare the people that come in without actually being part of a maze or a show?
You mean the streets?
Yeah.
Oh, hundreds. Yeah, there's no safe place to hide. There are monsters in every nook and cranny of Not Scary Farm.
What about the makeup? How long does that take for them to get all ready for every night?
We open Not Scary Farm every night between 6:30 and 7, and we have people in makeup starting at 4 o'clock. And earlier, sometimes 3 o'clock. If it's a really elaborate prosthetic, it takes hours.
What are the qualifications to be one of the people that scare all the people that come in?
You have to be demented. You have to be the kind of person that when you hear somebody screaming, instead of calling the police, you smile. That's who we want.
Yes, I am the one responsible for bringing Elvira back this year. I actually worked with Elvira the first year she was here in '81. The name of the show this year is Elvira's Big Top. It's kind of a double entendre there, and it's kind of a circus sideshow, freak show theme. So we're really excited about that. We are also bringing back with Elvira, who was here last year, featuring Academy of Villains. It's a really great dance troupe. If you haven't heard of them, you need to come back and see them. Then, of course, Jeff mentioned we have The Hanging, and the subtitle for The Hanging is Everything is Gruesome this year. And like Jeff said, we kind of annihilate every pop icon that made the news in the past year. And we kind of know who we're going to hang this year, but I can't reveal that. You'll have to come out and see the show to see who that is.
How many shows do you guys have going every night?
We, Elvira will be doing 2 shows a night at 9 and 11:30. There are 3 hangings at 8, 9:30, and 11. And then there's another experience, a dance DJ experience, Dia de los Muertos dance party over at Fiesta Village. So that's it for the shows, but they're fantastic shows.
And when you go to hire people to be in the shows, do you guys hire actual actors, or how does the auditioning process work for all that?
Well, it's great that you asked that. This Saturday, we're actually auditioning for sideshow acts. So we put an ad out in the trade papers. If you have a freakish talent, come to the Elvira Big Top auditions this Saturday, and we'll see if there's anything great out there that we can add to the show.
Are there any shows?
I'm actually the designer for the entire park, so I'm responsible for a lot more than just Haunt, but it takes us year-round to work on Haunt. I have a small little staff of only 24 people, and we produce 1,000 costumes.
Okay, so what kind of people do you have working for you? Like, do they need to be designers? Do they need to be, like, have a background in fashion, or, like, who are these people?
I have all levels. I have people who come from the fashion world. I have people who come from the theatrical world who are costume designers and costume stitchers. I have people who come directly from the sewing manufacturing industry who just set and sew goods. So I have a whole range which helps us pull together, because I'm not just looking for one style. I need it all. I need fashion forward for our live shows. We need somebody who can build it. We need somebody who can imagine it. So I need all levels. So all 3 of those are really huge, important things for us.
What do you, as far as like your job, what are you doing differently this year than you've done in previous years?
For me this year, we have 1,000 people out there, so we looked at breaking it down and how we can approach that 1,000. With 3 new mazes, that's a lot of work, so we figured out how we can break our teams up into different things. We tried something different because we usually do a collective shop working on all of it, and that was a little bit challenging, so we thought, let's break this up into teams. We're going to have this team work on this maze, this team work on this maze, and I can get 3 mazes through the shop with 3 teams instead of us trying to do everybody working on one thing. So it also opened up a lot more creativity within my staff. So we all had an opportunity to have input and give different ideas on how to approach the costumes. So it was really exciting for us to try something new for us in the shop.
have things changed ever since you've been here till now?
I think I am a person that believes that you don't get anywhere in life without taking risks. And I firmly believe that, especially in our Southern California market, where we are saturated with haunt events, that we need to constantly be thinking outside of the box and constantly be pushing the envelope and constantly be seeing how far we can take this and how many boundaries we can push. And since I've been here, I've kind of been one of those people that really drives that and drives that thought process. And I think it's imperative. I think it's the only way that we can stay current and competitive is to be constantly thinking about how we can do things different than what our competition is doing.
Okay, so speaking of that, how do you think you guys are going to be this different this year than your competition?
Oh my goodness, we're different in so many ways. I think with the voodoo and the choose your own path, this isn't just like you go through a door to the left and you're going to get a slightly different scare. No, you get a completely different experience based on your choices in that maze. And I think that is huge, and it's something we have never done here. Also in there, treating it like a sound studio instead of the standard mazes and maze thought process is a 4x8 wall, and you put it together and you make a room, and we've thrown that out. We're not doing that. We're not thinking in 4x8 terms. We are essentially building facades, building a sound studio that is a bayou. Half of a warehouse is filled with a pool, and you're walking over bridges built inside of this pool, which is so cool, and it's a dream I've had for a long time to do a maze like this. And then also with Infected, there's no experience like that, and what we did with that as well is you can have a completely different experience going from depending on which side you pick, and then also depending on whether you complete your missions or you don't, or how many zombies you kill, who you're with, what squad leaders you get. So we're constantly offering diversity, but a quality of diversity, which I think really sets us apart this year.
That's amazing, because some people stand in line for 3 hours, and just like you said, they just go through a wall and then come out.
Well, and honestly, okay, if I'll be a PC here, but no, our lines are never 3 hours. But that's because we have so many things to offer. We have so many options and places to go that you're never going to have to wait that long to get into an experience here.
And like when you are done, you can come out if you take a different route, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go back, you can get back in line, and then you can, instead of choosing right, you can choose left. If in Infected, you could enter on the main gate side instead of the Fiesta side and get a completely different experience.
Lastly, can you tell us a little bit more about Infected?
Absolutely. Infected is Infected Special Ops. So essentially what you're doing is you are enlisting. Camp Snoopy has been taken over by zombies that have been infected, and the army has come in and they are trying to rescue survivors, establish communication, and what you have to do is you get in there, you get handed a weapon, which is a state-of-the-art infrared gun that we have custom made for us. And you go in and it measures as you're shooting what headshots you get. If you're shooting the zombies in the chest, it gets scored. It can set off different things throughout the whole experience. You have squad leaders that drive you, so you're in a squad of people. Everybody's armed. It's intense. It will get your energy flowing, and I'll tell you, there's going to be nothing like it, and people are going to walk out of that pumped. It's bringing a video game to life, and that is what people want.
Infected, Special Ops Infected is going to be a different experience that you won't be able to do anywhere else, and the intensity and the immersion and the scope of it is going to be huge.
Overall, like shows and the rides and everything, like why should people come to Not Scary Farm and not go to Universal, not go to Six Flags, not go to other haunted houses?
We know what fun is. We know what scares are. We've been doing it for 42 years. We know, and there's nothing like, you walk out of a maze anywhere else and you're in their normal area. Not here. The whole park is transformed, and there's nowhere to hide, basically, here.
What is your job exactly for Not Scary Farm?
I'm basically in charge of everything. So I'm the creative director. I hire the monsters. I'm in charge of all the designers. My creative team is amazing, and make sure it runs smoothly.
guys prep for this all year long, I'm assuming, right? What are you doing all year long? Like, what goes into your schedule?
I'm actually a visual designer for the park as well, so we do work on, like we redid Mine Ride and Long Ride in the past years, but Haunt is always in our head. We're always working on new ideas and especially pushing the envelope and trying to come up with that new innovative thing. Everybody's doing mazes now because we started that. Well, that's great. How are we going to do it different? That's the important thing.
They brought you back this year. How did you feel?
I feel fantastic because it's an exciting place to be for me on Halloween. The biggest venue for Halloween in the country is, where I want to be.
What do you think is going to be different this time around from the shows you've done previously?
Well, last year was called Cinema Seance. This year is called Elvira's Big Top. So I have a whole three-wing circus going on under my big top. So it's going to be really interesting.
Any secrets you can spill with us about the show that's coming up?
Well, I am going to be doing some magic, and there are going to be a few acts that are kind of sideshow, circus sideshow type. So there's going to be some really interesting, bizarre things that you may never have seen before.
What about some of the fashion? What can you tell us about any fashion, any other wardrobe changes? Or
oh my gosh. Yeah, we're still coming up with that, but I am going to be the ringmaster, so I think there's going to be a bullwhip involved.
So what was your initial reaction when they told you, like, they want you back, they want to change up the show? Did you have any say in, like, what you want to do with the show this year?
Oh yeah, I have total say, because it's my show, and I got to pick and choose and do what I want. So yeah, I was thrilled to be back. I love it here, and like I said, where else would you want to be on Halloween? So I've been working on this for a long time, and I think it's going to be a really, really fun show. I think we've got more going on this year than last year because we've had a little more time to think about it and put into it. So I think it's going to be an awesome show.
How does it make you feel when people dress up as you for Halloween?
I love when I see people dressed up as me. It's the sincerest form of flattery. It's awesome. I'm always happy to see anybody dressed as me. Men, women, dogs, children, whatever.
Do you think anybody's going to come dressed as you to Knott's Scary Farm?
Well, unfortunately in Knott's, they don't let you dress in costume, so there won't be any of that here. But I do have an awesome new T-shirt that can kind of make you look like Elvira, so that's something you can get in the boutique. So you might want to check that out.
How can people do your makeup? Like, what kind of tips can you give? Because a lot of people would want to have your look.
Well, if you go on my YouTube video channel, you can find a whole little, what do you call those things? A tutorial about how to do my makeup. Of course, I don't wear any makeup because I'm a natural beauty, but if you need makeup because you're really ugly, you can go on my station and get it, tips.
I am a entertainment designer, as well as I work in the props department fabricating props. This year we're bringing out a maze called Special Ops Infected, which I guess is not really a maze, it's more of a submersive, interactive zombie apocalypse experience.
In your opinion, what makes Knott's Scary Farm different from any other Halloween event that's going to be going on this year?
Other than being the first?
Yeah.
The first of its kind? I want to say it's the largest. Like we have the most mazes. We're always coming up with new ideas, and we're always staying ahead of the pack as far as innovative ideas. Our scare zones are huge. We probably have the most monsters than anybody. We have over 1,000 monsters, which is insane.
What do you do throughout the year? Like, what is your job?
Throughout the year, I work in the props department, so I'm fabricating props, setting up sets, as well as designing now.
Where do you guys get your props from?
We make them. Yep, we life cast our bodies, we sculpt everything, we do everything in-house for the most part.
Around how many props go into like one maze? I know it's a hard question to answer, but or just around.
Well, this year for Voodoo, I think we have over 100 chicken feet alone. So hundreds if not thousands.
What kind of people do you guys need to hire to put this all together? Because I know it's not just designers. It's not just.
Yeah, we hire people for carpentry, props, paint, lighting, audio effects. We hire tons and tons of seasonal employees that come in and help build this crazy nightmare within a very short time period.
Do you guys start like right when this one ends? Are you guys going to start prepping for next year's?
Yeah, basically by the time Haunt ends, we already know what works, what doesn't work, what we're going to change, what we want to do, and then in the following months, we're trying to lay everything out and get everything ready.
So you're the publicist for the theme park. How are things different for Knott's Scary Farm and Knott's Berry Farm as far as your job goes?
So my job gets really exciting around this time of year. Knott's Scary Farm is something that we work on year in and year out, day in and day out working at it. But now as we get closer, we start shifting into the macabre, all the exciting elements. So we start thinking about how we're going to position the product, how we're going to come together with a design team that is extremely talented, and how we're going to present this to the fans. How is it that we can show them what they live, breathe, and die day in and day out.
How are things different this year, besides like the new mazes and the shows? How are things really different this year from previous years?
So we have a couple of really exciting things in store for all of our fans. In addition to having new mazes, as you mentioned, we also have this really amazing attraction that encompasses 6 acres of Camp Snoopy, which was newly revitalized this year. In addition to that, if you remember all the commotion inside of the theater, the Knott's Scary Farm Pass has been asked for a year since, I want to say 42 years, since we started. It's amazing to be able to offer that to our fans. So we have that big, huge buy-in that guests can come in and experience every single square inch of the theme park, all 24 nights if they want to.
How did you guys finally decide to do the season pass this year?
Well, as you know, we are the granddaddy of all haunted attractions, and we decided to raise the bar for ourselves every single year. And how could we possibly do that this year? In addition to having the new attractions and the big scare zone and the big, attraction in Camp Snoopy, we needed to provide something for our fans so they can come and experience this day in and day out. It's been definitely pent-up demand. They've asked for this since we started Knott's Scary Farm about 42 years ago. And we decided, why not? Why not give the fans what they so want? Because they are so loyal to us.
Is anything different with the rides for Knott's Scary Farm?
All of the attractions are open with the exception of the attraction side of Camp Snoopy. But one really neat thing that we have this year that we offer both daytime operations, so when the park is open from 10 to 5:30, and nighttime is Witch's Keep inside of the newly completely refurbished Calico Mine Ride.
Who makes most of the decisions of let's say Knott's Scary Farm ends this year, who sits around and says, okay, this is what we're going to do next year, or do you guys let most of the staff decide, or how does that all work?
So as I lovingly refer to them, the sick, twisted minds, the designers, Laura, Brooke, Gus, Daniel, and their creative team, because there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes, from lighting design to theatrics to props. They come together and say, okay, I've been really dying to do this. Can we do it this year? Or how can we make this better? Because although some of the mazes return, they always return with a little more of a sick, twistedness to them.
So when they said Gus, they said he's sick, he's twisted, he's amazing. How does it feel to hear those words?
Well, it feels all right. I've heard way worse, so that's not too bad.
So what is your position here at Knott's Berry Farm?
Well, I'm a designer of mazes for Knott's Scary Farm. I also do a lot of other stuff throughout the year. I design, for our seasonal events, but honestly, the Scary Farm takes up the whole year. It's something you think about always. It's always in the back of your head, even when we have seasonal events. It is fun to do stuff for the day show and to do all that stuff, but nothing like making haunt mazes.
How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been working in entertainment design for the last 3 years, but I've been working at Knott's for a very long time. I actually started in 2000 as a maze talent, and I worked for talent for several years, but in 2002 I started working here in production. 2003 I moved over into props, I eventually wound up running the props department for several years before I came over into entertainment design. So I've done a lot of stuff. I've been here a while.
Do you have a complete image of exactly how you want the maze to look? And then does it change when it's done?
Oh, absolutely. Well, yes to both. For me, I try to think of the story first. What is this place about? Where does this go? And then I start thinking about the different environments that I want to have in that. And when it all comes together, yeah, you've got a pretty good idea. Ultimately, no one is ever going to build it the exact same way that you have in your head. But of course, with the tools that we have and the crews that we have, they're able to get it real close. And I would never ever want to say, if I design something in March, say that's the way it's going to be in October, because you always get amazing ideas, and we do have such great crews here that you're able to collaborate with, that I want it to change. I want it to constantly get better. I don't want to sit there and say my ideas are the best, even though maybe they are. But there's always room. You always get another idea. You never know what's going to hit. You could be driving home and you're like, oh, I could really mess with somebody like that. Or in the shower, it's like, hey, I really want to torture someone like this. It's constantly evolving until we reopen. Until the boss says, that's done, get out. It's always growing and evolving.
Have it, all the exciting news from the genius minds behind the production of Not Scary Farm. Don't forget to visit Not Scary Farm from September 25th to November 1st. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.